We can solve multiplication using area model. How can I solve a multiplication problem visually using area model? We have already learned how to multiply by powers of 10. 3 times 10 is 3 groups of 10, which we know is 30. The mental math strategy I think to myself is 3 times 1 equals 3, and there's one extra 0. 3 times 100 is 3 groups of hundreds, so that's just 300. 3 times 1 equals 3, and there's 2 zeros. 3 times 1,000 is 3 groups of 1,000, which equals 3,000. 3 times 1 equals 3, and there's 3 zeros in each. Let's try these ones using our mental math strategy. Well, 4 times 5 equals 20, and don't forget that 0. That makes sense because 4 groups of 50 is 200. Well, what about this next one? 20 times 30, we wouldn't want to have to draw 20 groups of 30. So, 2 times 3 equals 6, and there's a 0 in the 20 and a 0 in the 30, so we'll put 2 zeros in our answer. 20 times 30 equals 600. What about 40 times 600? Again, we wouldn't want to draw this picture, so 4 times 6 equals 24, and then I see 1, 2, 3 zeros that need to go in our answer. 40 times 600 equals 24,000. Area model is just a visual representation of a multiplication problem. So let's solve 5 times 1,723 using area model. The 5 is 1 digit, 1,723 is 4 digits, so I'll make it 1 row with 4 columns. Here's my picture. It's 1 row across with 4 different columns. I'll show you why they're different sizes in a second. I want to multiply 5, so I'm going to write a 5 over here, times 1,723. So I'm going to write that in expanded form across the top. 1,000 plus 700 plus 20 plus 3. My boxes got smaller because 1,000 is over top the biggest box, 700's over the next biggest, followed by 20, and then a little box for 3. Next, we are going to multiply to find the area of each box. To find the area of the first box right here, we are going to multiply 5 times 1,000. 5 times 1 equals 5. And don't forget those 3 zeros. 5 times 1,000 equals 5,000. Let's find the area of the next box. Well, to the left I see a 5, and above it I see 700. So let's do 5 times 700. Well, 5 times 7 equals 35. And don't forget those 2 zeros. 5 times 700 equals 3,500. To find the area of this box, I look to the left and see a 5. I look up and see a 20. So let's do 5 times 20. 5 times 2 equals 10. And don't forget the 0. 5 times 20 equals 100. And for this last little box on the end, I look to the left and see a 5. I look up and see a 3. So 5 times 3 equals 15. So now we know how much 5 times each digit in our number is. So to find the total, we'll add up each value. I wrote the value from each box on the side, so it will be easier to add. When I added up each value, I got 8,615. 5 times 1,723 equals 8,615. Let's try the area model for 32 times 68. This time I see 2 digits times 2 digits. So I'm going to want 2 rows and 2 columns for my boxes. Let's start by writing 32 in expanded form across the top. 30 plus 2. You'll notice that each number is over its own box. I didn't cram them over one box together. Let's do 68 in expanded form across the left-hand side. 60 plus 8. Now we just multiply to find the area of each box. For this top left box, I look to the left and I see a 60, and I look up and I see a 30. So let's multiply 60 times 30. 6 times 3 equals 18. And then there's 2 more zeros I need to add. 60 times 30 equals 1,800. For the area of this top right box, I look to the left and I see a 60. I look up and I see a 2. So 60 times 2, I can do that mentally with 6 times 2 equals 12. And then don't forget that 0 in 60. Let's come down to this bottom left corner. I look to the left and I see an 8. I look up and I see a 30. So let's do 8 times 30. 8 times 3 equals 24. And don't forget that 0 from 30. 8 times 30 equals 240. And finally, let's do this bottom right corner. I look to the left, I see an 8. I look up, I see a 2. 8 times 2, well, we know that equals 16. Now we know the area of each room in the house. All we have to do is add up each value to see how much the value of the whole thing is altogether. 1,800 plus 120 equals 1,920. 240 plus 16 equals 256. Let's add these up to see what all 4 are together. All 4 boxes together equal 2,176. 32 times 68 equals 2,176. In this lesson, you learned how to use area model to solve multiplication problems. Oh yeah!